Hi, I'm Mitch Shoemaker, and today is day one of my doing 100 days of YouTube videos and focusing on today. So, yay, I think, for day one. I feel like I'm just starting over. I probably need to do something to celebrate the fact that I got through 100 days of writing. And I knew today was going to be a little bit challenging. I also knew I was going to be discovering a lot of things. Mostly what I'm discovering is that my mind goes to the future or the past a lot. The future a lot more than I realized. I kept having to redirect myself. And tonight I actually started singing "Stop" in the Name of Love in my head. And I only know the chorus part of that, and it was just kind of in my head trying to get myself to stop repeating something because something happened at work. And I started trying to pray about it, and I got an answer that I'm like, not right now. And that really bothered me because I'm like, I've been ignored a lot in my life and felt neglected. And I was like, okay, Heavenly Father doesn't ignore me. He doesn't neglect me. He loves me. Why is he telling me not right now? This is not the answer I'm looking for. And then I realized that it's because what I wanted to pray about, talk about, deal with was not, the timing was not appropriate because I was still at work. I still had to deal with customers. I still had things I needed to do. So what I was upset about was going to have to wait until later. But I'm grateful that I was able to kind of set it aside for a little bit. And then I picked it up a little bit later when I stopped for a break and had a chance to look at things. And then I was a little bit irritated, but I allowed myself to be irritated. I should probably look at my list of emotions my friend gave me today so I can figure out exactly where I am on that anger list. Frustrated, irritated, whatever. Need to look up definitions for all of those too. That's a really amazing list that she gave me. And I'm like, some of these words I don't even know. Need a dictionary. Some of them I'm like, I don't think these actually fall under these categories, but I could be wrong because I really don't know that much about emotions. So just I know, random side tangent. Sorry. But anyway, I decided that I was going to let myself be angry. I was going to let myself be frustrated tonight. That I had a right to be frustrated about what was happening. I think there was some kind of a computer glitch with something at work, and I received a message saying that I was going to be shorted something and basically given a warning that if I continued to do something, I'm not sure what exactly I supposedly did, that it could affect my job. And I was just very confused and angry and frustrated and hurt and a gazillion things. But I couldn't deal with it because I was still at work. And I was also grateful for the realization that when something similar happened like almost a year ago, I I was not able to just keep working. I had to pull over, I had to cry, I had to freak out. I wanted to just quit. And I didn't. And I was like, okay, I'm proud of myself for not quitting. And tonight I was just like, okay, I just kept working. Like I didn't even stop. And then when I did try to like say a little prayer in between customers or whatever, I just got the answer like, not right now. Now is not a good time to deal with this. Just let it go. So that was hard for me. That was hard to just let it go. But I'm grateful I was able to kind of set it aside for a while. And then I did pick it up a little bit later and started just replaying it in my head, what I'm going to do when I get home, because it just gave me a place to like respond. I just didn't have time to do it then. I was going to have to wait and respond later. So I'm like, I have to wait to respond. And so I was singing "Stop" in the Name of Love, so I would stop doing that. But I also started thinking the closer it got to the end of my night, all the things that I have to do tomorrow. And I'm like, it's not tomorrow yet. And I'm like, I don't feel like doing anything tomorrow. I'm like, yeah, because I'm tired. It's the end of my day. I haven't even gone to bed yet. So it's like the closer I get to tomorrow, the more my brain just wants to jump into, these are the list of things I'm going to do tomorrow. So it's very hard for me to just be like, stop, not doing tomorrow yet. Having to stay in today is a lot harder than I thought that it was going to be. But I feel like it's a blessing because it is reminding me to ask myself how I'm feeling, to allow myself to feel my frustration and be frustrated. And by the time I did get home and I did send a message to work, I was much calmer. And I think I sent something that was a little bit more professional or nice, or just basically saying, I'm not understanding what's going on. Can I please get some clarification so we can avoid this issue in the future because I don't understand what happened. So I'm grateful that I could do that. And I was really grateful that in the midst of all of my frustration and worry, because I started worrying about how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to do that, and then I'm just grateful for all the gratitudes that I've been doing because they kicked in. And I started looking at how great my day has been today and all the wonderful things that have happened today. And I was like, am I really going to waste the rest of my night, the last couple of hours that I have, just angry over this thing that I have absolutely no control over, that's not actually affecting me it's it's not actually affecting me in a negative way, really. It's more just a trigger of things and not getting what I want or what I had planned. So it's more the disappointment because things didn't work out the way that I wanted them to. And just another reminder that God is in control and he will take care of everything. And I have sufficient for my needs. I got what I needed, even if it's not what I wanted. And so I'm okay. And I'm grateful for these little revelations and realizations. I'm grateful I was able to drive around today and enjoy the weather. It was beautiful weather today. I put my window down, was driving with the window down, enjoying the blue sky outside, and I'm like, this is a good day. This is a beautiful day. I was able to recognize when I was getting out of bed this morning I didn't want to get up to my alarm. I never want to get up to my alarm. I'm not a morning person. And then I started asking myself, well, what am I trying to avoid? And I'm like, nothing. I got like 6 hours of sleep, but I'm tired. I just want to go back to sleep. I got woken up in the middle of a dream in the middle of my sleep cycle. I just want like 10 or 20 more minutes to convince myself that I have to wake up. And I did, hit the snooze button a couple of times before I got up, but I allowed myself that. And I was grateful that I could be like, okay, I'm not avoiding something. I'm just trying to get a little bit more sleep before I absolutely have to get up and do something. And the timing for everything seemed to have just worked out for the most part. And then something else happened. I at work tonight again. It wasn't with work. It was something else. I offered a friend a ride, and they had issues with their work, and it ended up taking longer. And I wasn't irritated by that at all. I was like, okay, well, I made the commitment to give this person a ride. It is, in the middle of my what I would normally be working. But I'm like, it's okay. Same friend I gave a ride to last night, I forgot that I was supposed to give a ride to. So I'm like, well, you had to wait for me last night. I wait for you tonight. It's no big deal. It's whatever it is. It is what it is. And I was just surprised at how calm I was, how I wasn't stressing out. I wasn't freaking out. I'm like, it's no big deal. And a lot of today, I just had to keep reminding myself to just relax, to just breathe, to just be in the moment today. And I realized also that I think I create that stress and that anxiety, that worry. Like when I start freaking out about what's going on or what I'm going to say or what I'm going to do, I can feel myself getting all riled up and tense and stressed. And I was like, I don't need this. I need to stop. I need to relax. I need to breathe. I just need to trust God to take care of it. And God is taking care of it, and he has taken care of it. And I've seen that in my life. And then I just get, I don't know. I have control issues. I freak out because I don't know what the outcome is going to be. So this is the test, I guess, for the 100 days of focusing on today is, can I let go of what's going to happen tomorrow? Can I not beat myself up over what I did or didn't do yesterday, or what did or didn't work out at some point in my night today? I ran into someone tonight. I was just randomly talking to them, and he mentioned, like, don't judge me. And I'm like, that's not my job. And he's like, yeah, but we judge anyway. And I'm like, yeah, I try not to, but it's true. And I think I'm my own worst critic. I judge myself the harshest. I beat myself up the most for things. And I've had to remind myself again that I'm not being lazy, or that I'm trying to be safe, or I'm trying to do things to take care of myself. It doesn't make me lazy. And there's a timing to everything, and it has to be the right timing for things to work. I have to be willing and ready. And I think all the things that I've been doing have been leading up to this point, and God has been pointing me in this direction. And honestly, when I started my 100 days of gratitude, started doing 100 days of gratitude videos, I did not anticipate that I was going to be doing this. Like, this did not even register in my brain. And I would say most of the way through my writing, probably about, I don't know, 50 to 70 days into my writing, I was still convinced I was going to be doing marketing, 100 days of marketing right now. And, I have thought if I feel like doing some kind of marketing or online marketing or working on a website or some other things, I'm free to do those things. I can still do those in today if that's what I feel like I need to do for whatever day that I'm on. Um, but it doesn't have to be my main focus. And am I also did something with my meditationals. I realized I mentioned meditationals a lot. I was talking to my vision board friend today, and she was like, "What are meditationals?" So I don't know. I have several different ones. I have like 3 of them for my 12-step programs. This is just one. It's called Hope for Today, and it's just they're just little daily readers. It has like the day of the month, and then it has a thought for the day, and then sometimes it has a quote like at the bottom. That I read. They're just inspirational. It's just other people sharing their stories and how they, the brief versions that I probably could never do because I talk way too long and I don't know how to do a brief short. I'm like, this is the short version 2 hours later, right? So I don't know what the long version is, but anyway, these are my meditationals. They're kind of a short version of, when I first came to program, this was the problem, and then these are the things that I did to fix it and get better. So sometimes when I mention stories from my 12 steps or from my meditationals, this is where they're coming from. And the back of these also has like an index of different things to talk about. It's alphabetized, whatever. So it has like the steps for something. It has different things like denial, detachment, abandonment, balance, belonging, just different feelings, some of these actually. And then they have a list of the different page numbers as to what day the reading of something about that particular topic. That's what it is. There's topics. Usually those are topics used for discussion at 12-step meetings. But if it's a topic or something that I feel I need to work on, I can go through and just read all the different ones in there. I usually try to just read each day at a time. And the reason I brought this up is because after my divorce, I had, like, when I got married, I got distracted and I kind of stopped reading them on a daily basis. And then I was trying to play catch up and reading like 2 or 3 because I was on whatever the day was. And then I got behind a couple months, and I just didn't read them consistently. I got out of the habit of doing that. And so at one point I was, at least I'm not a whole year behind. And then I got past a year and I was like, I'm never going to get caught up. And now I'm probably like 2 or 3 months, well, probably a year and 2 or 3 months if I look at it that way. But I realize I'm still trying to play catch up. And I'm never going to be able to catch up. I'm never going to be able to make up for time lost, time missed, things that I did or didn't do. And I have gained a lot of spiritual growth, emotional growth, just in the last couple 100 days of doing these videos and things that I've been working on for myself, that maybe I wouldn't have gained or wouldn't have even been willing to try if I hadn't gotten so depressed and despondent and desperate to change, like just desperate to get out of the funk that I was in. Because I'm like, I need to function, I need to work, I need to pay bills, I need to get out of bed, I need to do something. So, which just makes me so grateful for my friend that suggested the gratitudes in the first place. And I'm grateful that I followed the inspirations, the prompting of the Spirit to turn it into these YouTube videos, because it then prompted me to do 100 days of writing. And now I'm doing 100 days of focusing on today, and not necessarily being in the moment, but even realizing as I'm focusing on today that, stuff from this morning keeps coming up, or stuff that happens. I'm like, I get fixated on it, and I'm like, I don't need to be fixated on this, or I can't deal with this right now, but I can deal with it later. It doesn't mean that I'm burying it. It doesn't mean that I'm avoiding it. It just means that I'm allowing time. And it was something about allowing that time of trusting that not now was a positive answer and not a negative one, and that God knew what he was talking about, that I didn't have the time to deal with it. And when I did take a break and could look at things a little bit more rationally, I could figure out, okay, what might have been an issue and start thinking about how I could respond to it. And then by the time I had a chance to respond to it, I was actually much calmer, and I was saying a prayer, and I feel like I still vented. I still put in my complaint to the company saying, I disagree with whatever, but I think I did it in a much more professional, nice way instead of a just, like, this is totally unfair and I can't believe you did this to me and all of all of those other things. So I think it had more of a positive spin, like, I'm confused. I don't understand what happened here. I understand the policy. I didn't realize I did anything against policy. If you could please explain this to me better. These are some of the issues that I've been having using the app for work, but I didn't realize that any of these issues would, warrant something against policy. If you could just please clarify to me what it is that I did, because I'm not understanding, I would appreciate it. So, I set it out that way, where I'm just asking for clarification because I don't understand, and I don't know if it's a technical thing. I don't know if it's a glitch, miscommunication between my system and their system, which I think is what the issue is, but I honestly don't know. So hopefully they will actually respond back to me and tell me what I supposedly did, so that I can correct it, so I don't have this issue again in the future. But I was able to calm down enough to be like, okay, I don't know what I did wrong. Maybe I did something. Maybe it's a computer glitch. Maybe it's whatever. I don't know. But I didn't have to let it ruin the whole rest of my night. It did play in my head a few times. As I said, I had to sing Stop in the Name of Love to stop doing that. And then I started thinking about all the stuff I need to do tomorrow. And I had to stop in the name of love or something again. I was like, man, staying in today is a lot harder for me than, I knew it was going to be hard. And, but I am grateful for all the moments that I was aware of things today, and all of the times that I could see that I changed a change in perspective, or seeing things that maybe I wasn't always aware of, and allowing myself to have feelings and emotions, and also knowing that there's a time and a place and things like that. And it's just been, it's good. It's good for me. And I think I started talking about my meditationals and how I was behind and trying to play catch up. And today I decided I can't keep doing that. I may never catch up, or maybe I will, but I can't go back and change and read all of those on some other day. And so I chose to just jump to today's reading and just stick with today's reading. And if I ever feel like I need a specific topic, I can just look up the topics and the readings on those topics. I don't have to limit myself to just today's readings, and I don't have to play catch up, because I can't. If I've made commitments or projects that I have to do or finish, yes, I can work on those. I can complete those. I can, whatever, those things that I agreed to do at some point. But I don't have to, I can't go back and change my spirituality or my emotional responses to things that happened a year ago or 2 years ago or 10 years ago. I can learn from them, and I can try to respond differently today. And I could see that I had a different response today. When things didn't go the way that I wanted them to, I continued to work, and I chose to pray like I always do. And I didn't like the answer of waiting, of not right now. It was very, literally, the words just bold right in my head, not right now. And I was like, I don't like that answer at all. But I was able to accept that answer. Had to do a little bit more praying about it. Had to kind of remind myself that Heavenly Father loves me, and He's aware of me, and He's not saying that to be mean. It's because right now is not a good time for me to be thinking about this or trying to figure this out, because I am working, because I have other things I need to do right in this moment. And then obviously by the time I could deal with it, I was in a better frame of mind just by not dealing with it in the moment. So that was kind of an interesting lesson for me, a different way to see things, to be aware of things. I didn't have to stop what I was doing to be upset, but I knew that I could be upset later and it would be okay. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the things that I learned about today, and I know that it's going to be a challenge for me to remember to stay in today because my brain just keeps going to tomorrow or the next day or next week or next month, and it's like, oh my gosh. And it also goes a little bit to the past, like certain things or ideas that I don't even know. At one point, I was thinking about where I used to work and something. I'm like, how did I even get to this? What thought process led to that? This just doesn't even make sense. And I had to remind myself to look around where I'm at. We're in today. We're not in like 2 years ago or 4 years ago or whatever it is. So it's just, it's been an interesting experiment for today. I'm not really sure. When I was doing the gratitudes, I was all for challenging other people. Do the gratitudes because they're amazing. Follow along. You can see the difference between, the first day and the last day. I don't know how much difference there was between how I was when I first started my writing and ending my writing. Although I think I was very excited to start and very excited to end. And kind of somewhere in between, I think it was just a muddled mess. So I don't know if you want to try writing or doing something that's challenging to you, then, I mean, go for it. But fair warning, it's an emotional roller coaster. I'm not sure about staying in today or focusing on today or staying in the moment, however you want to phrase it. I'm not so worried about staying in the moment because obviously some of those moments or emotions had to be put on hold today to be dealt with a little bit later today. But it allowed me time to continue to work, I think, to calm down a little bit, an opportunity to think a little bit more clearly before making an actual response. So I'm grateful for that and for the learning experience. And yeah, so it's been an interesting day today. I don't really know what else to say about today. I think all of my videos are probably going to be fairly long. I apologize for that because it's just learning to be in today and knowing that tomorrow is going to be a different today. Kind of feels like this is a groundhog thing. I'm going to do Groundhog Day for 100 days. If you've seen the movie, The Groundhog Day. Although hopefully I do it where I'm actually trying to learn and become a better person, because I know in the movie there's several days where he's like, well, if everything's going to be the same, then I'm just going to be crappy and mean and do all the stupid stuff that, I couldn't normally get away with doing. But that didn't fix anything. And eventually when he'd become the better person, the different person, and he learned to appreciate life and people and wasn't, took care of himself, learned about other people, then he was able to move on and wake up and it was a different day. And he was so thrilled to have a different day. I was like, yay, a different day, a different experience. But I think every single day that he repeated was still a different experience because he was learning something. So I'm hoping every single day, even if some of the things on my to-do list are the same, will be a different learning experience. And if it's a challenge you're up to try to focus on today, if it's something you struggle with, then you can join me on my journey. If it's one you just want to watch and mock me in the process, that's okay too. Or, well, I don't know that I want to be mocked in the process, but if you want to laugh along with me or just be like, okay, I don't know. Anyway, if you like these videos, if you're entertained by anything that I'm saying or sharing, or if it's helping you in any way, you can hit like, subscribe, or share with someone else if you think they'll like it too. And I think that's all I have for today. So I hope you have a great day full of gratitude. And I usually do full of gratitude and maybe some writing. And I hope you have a really great day.